They're more introvert, independent, lone wolves. They're not family people. And if you have a child who is one of these and you try to make them attend family events because that's what's important to you, that is like torture to them. That is just pure torture that they have to engage. They want to be busy doing other things. They don't enjoy visiting or family gatherings or no, it's like torment. But if you don't know that, you're going to think that they don't like you, they don't love you, they don't care about the family, something's wrong with them, they need help. Like, you're going to assess them in that way, and it's just not true. So you're going to try to change them. That triangle in nursing, we use a triangle for the word change. So you're going to try to change them. And they're going to run. They're going to go even further from you than they ever have before, because this is too much. This is too much telling them what to do, too much advice giving, too many strong opinions, too much. They feel judged. They feel like you don't trust them as an adult. Trust them to make good decisions, that you won't let them make their own mistakes. There's no freedom in that. They feel like they are still being parented, and this is very hard for you to back off of. Like, it's very hard for you because this is a natural tendency for you to care about the family. So if you sit over here, let me erase this. If you sit on this side of the wheel, activator, crusader, sensor, and your connector, guardian, diplomat. If you're the parents over here, and you've got children over here, if you sit here like me, I have a guardian diplomat mom, and you sit over here, the worst thing that you can do as this health type is to shut these guys out, because they're doing what's natural to them to do. Like, they just have a really hard time not trying to straighten you out on things, or not trying to give you advice, or not asking questions that maybe you don't want to answer, and you feel like that's being nosy or meddling or prying. And they don't see it that way. They see it as, well, if I know all the facts, maybe I can help you work it out, because I want you to be okay. But how that's perceived on this side of the fence is nosy and meddling, because these people are so independent. Okay? They can't help it. Like, just like it comes naturally to you to be so caring, and so advice giving and so opinionated, or they can't help but be independent, and they just want to do it in their own way, in their own time. And you have to come to a place where you can just allow that. Like, that is the most loving thing that you can do for them. And what happens when you can do that? What happens when you succeed at what I'm about to tell you to do today? What happens is you open up. So instead of, when you're doing your old mental tendency things, just look at this as just a horrible pressure feeling energy coming at them. And it is pushing them away. And it's repelling them. This is too much. And they run from it. They're running from you. They won't come to see you anymore. They won't talk to you. They won't call you. They won't. So you, if you don't understand all this, you would think, well, I'm not loved. I am unloved. And of course you would. Like, that's of course what you would assume, that they don't love you. And that is not the case. Most of the time it's the fact that they feel unloved by you because you don't trust them to figure it out themselves. You think they're a child always, that they can't make good decisions. Yeah. Or you're telling them what to do all the time and they don't like that. So I hope you can see, the more we can understand each side of this and what's going on, the more we can change this. So what happens when you back off? When you back your energy off and you're not giving unsolicited advice, you're just listening. Well, that didn't work. You're just listening to what they say. They come over one day and maybe they open up to you. They probably won't at first because they don't trust you to just listen. They think you're going to give them advice, so they just keep their mouth shut and never tell you anything. So maybe one day they hadn't heard from you in a while. And I've had this happen to clients that I've told to do this. They haven't heard from you in a while because you pulled your energy back and you stopped texting, stopped trying to call them, you stopped knocking on their door, showing up at all hours. You stopped, and you decided to put your focus more towards what you could do for you and putting your energy towards showing love in different ways. You can still, show love to family, but you can do it in different ways. One of the best ways to show love to these guys over here is to give them space. That is the best thing you can do for them. And what happens when you open up space? They notice it. When you have a behavior change over here on this side of the wheel, when you change your behavior and you back off and you give them space, which is the most loving thing that you can do, they will notice. They're like, what the heck? Is she okay? Like, where'd she go? Like, why is she not? I better go check on her. So instead of being repelled by you, then here they come back. Here they come back because they actually do love you. Here they come back, and then now they're talking to you. Maybe they open up to you. So let's say this is the first time that you've noticed something's starting to shift here because you changed you and you changed how you were acting towards them. And they come over and they start opening up to you. What you have to do then is to listen and hold your comments. No matter how much you want to say, oh my God, I can't believe you just did that. You didn't. Tell me you didn't. I know you didn't just do that. Oh my God, that's crazy. Or, use judgment or criticism. All right. So it's hard for you to do, but you have to, once you give them space, now they will notice, and then they'll start telling you things, and you just have to listen, okay? And no matter how much you want to say, oh my God, that was such the wrong thing to do. You shouldn't have done it like this because here's the right way. Or, telling them all the horrible things that's going to happen now because of what they did. You just have to listen and say, oh, that's wonderful, honey. Even if inside you're screaming to yourself like, oh my God, what are they doing? You just have to say, oh, that's really good. I'm really proud of you. That's what this side of the fence wants to hear, that you're proud of them. Okay? Now, let's look at it. If you've got maybe you don't have a child that sits over here, but you have a child that sits on the same, meaning they have the same body type that you do. They are also a guardian or a connector or a diplomat. They sit right over here with you, and they have the same right and wrong, one way to do things, black and white, very strong, stubborn mind. Now, we can be stubborn over here too. Not saying we can't be. We can be. But you guys really get set in your ways and in your thinking. Okay, so maybe you've got one of those shaped like you, looks just like you, no doubt came from you, okay? And they've shut you out. Well, that's because you too probably have, and I talk about this in another video about what builds walls between people. walls with two S's. What builds walls between two people? And one of those things is personal differences. Meaning, I don't see it the way you see it. I believe something else. I don't believe what you believe. Politics. How many families have been torn apart just because of a personal difference about politics? So, you know, this can build a wall between you two, and then they can run. Not because they don't love family, not because of anything other than you two can't see eye to eye and can't agree to disagree. So you argue. Oh, and it can get heated. Like you guys can be very verbal and very strong. Remember especially the guardian. The guardian, as I told you, is the bear. And bears can be cuddly. Cuddly. And they can also be grizzly. And you have to know when to approach them. You have to know when is the right timing. You really got to look at timing, what kind of mood they're in, where they are, before you just go up, because sometimes they can be just the most loving, cuddly, nurturing. That's always within them. But then if they're upset about something, watch out. And they don't usually hold back. They growl really loud. And they're going to let everybody know what they're feeling. So this is usually the guardian, the ones that are more pear shape. If they're more towards a diplomat, they can be more apple shape. So you hold all of your weight like from the waist up, and then you get toward the diplomat, and you can be triangle shape. So anyway, that is the guardian.